am Lynn Bridgeford from Bios, and today in our series on mental health and coaching, we're going to be looking at a wonderful system called Core Transformations by the very lovely Connirae Andreas. Now, this is a beautiful system to work with to help get somebody into a core state. So that's a state of being connected to what is really in our purpose, in our goodness, in our oneness. There are a few things that Connirae describes as the 5 states. I would put it as things like love and freedom and beingness and connectedness. The 5 that Connirae talks about are being, inner peace, love, okayness and oneness. Now for me, freedom always comes up a lot, and peace is something that we need. In yoga they say that until you have peace inside you as an individual, we won't stop the war in the world. So peace is something that is on everybody's thoughts at the moment, and the peace we need starts with ourselves. So how do we get this peace when we've been through all kinds of traumas and experiences and things that may have disturbed our equilibrium? There are so many beautiful ways of working with releasing trauma and bringing ourselves into the power of being ourselves and being the very best selves we can be, and being in touch with who we really are and what we are here to do or want to do with our lives. The beauty of Core Transformations for me is that you don't need to talk about the content. You don't need to talk about the problem. In fact, Core Transformation isn't just about resolving problems. It may be about achieving states that you want, that you don't feel you have enough of. I did a session once on wanting to be more creative, and it was a very lovely session, and it went through different routes and paths that were all most enjoyable. And since then I've learned to play a new instrument. I've done some studies that just came up online of studying jazz theory and harmony, joined a band. So my creativity over the years since I had that session has really just naturally opened up in ways that things from life just came to me. I didn't go looking for them. And I think that's the beauty of when we have a sense of attraction and we come from a state of being in ourselves, that it's more easy to attract the things that nourish us and nurture us. So I'm going to have a little read from some of the things in the book because they're quite beautifully written. So the 5 states, core states that Connirae talks about of being, inner peace, love, okayness and oneness. So each one has a poem that I will read. So being, stars burn, grass grows, men breathe. As a man finding treasure says, ah, but the treasure's the essence. Before the man spoke, it was there, and after the man has spoken, he gathers it, inexhaustible treasure. Robinson Jeffers. So being is also something we talk about in yoga and in many different cultures of spirituality. So being is being in the present moment, being with what is, being in the here and now. It's quite a temptation to spend time in the past or in the future, and being present, being in the now and being is a very powerful state to be in. Inner peace. If we are not able to smile, then the world will not have peace. It is not by going out for demonstration against nuclear missiles that we can bring about peace. It is with our capacity of smiling, breathing, and being peace that we can make peace. Thich Nhat Hanh, who recently left the planet. That state of inner peace, we all know what we feel when we feel peaceful. Is it something we can describe? It's a sense of its oneness, its beingness, it's a lack of tension, and yet there's a tension in peace because it's a attention to where we are. We feel comfortable with what's happening, and yet it's so much more than just comfort. Yet we all know what peace feels like. Love. Let the disciple cultivate love without measure towards all beings. Let him cultivate toward the whole world, above, below, around, a heart of love, unstinted. For in all the world this state of heart is best. Buddha. I remember reading a book just called Love by a wonderful man called Leo Buscaglia, and he talked about what love is. An Italian man, and his mother telling him off was love, making sure he was fed and clothed and behaved, and sometimes shouting and cuddling. It was all love. He saw the love that his mother gave towards him in all her actions and words with him. Even though they may not have always seemed like that, he understood love from that point of the heart. Okayness. There's a book title, I'm Okay, You're Okay, and this comes out of transactional analysis, which is used widely in coaching. And it's a case of feeling okay, so it's kind of being at peace, that okay with what is, that it's okay to be how we are, it's okay to feel what we feel, it's okay to be how we are. It's a level of acceptance and without judgment. So okayness is a powerful state to be in. Oneness. Why, when a housefly flaps its wings, a breeze goes round the world? When a speck of dust falls on the ground, the entire planet weighs a little more. And when you stamp your foot, the earth moves slightly off its course. Whenever you laugh, gladness spreads like the ripples in a pond. And whenever you're sad, no one anywhere can be really happy. Norton Juster, the Phantom Toll Booth. So oneness is also talked about a lot in spirituality. We are one with the divine, we are divine. We are one with everybody else. If we hurt somebody else, we hurt ourselves. If we hurt ourselves, we hurt somebody else. So this idea of oneness can be far-reaching, and all of these things can mean different things to each person, and yet we all know that feeling of being at one with a situation or with a person or with a beloved pet. Being at one it's also a comfort, it's a peace. We all know oneness, what it means and what it feels like in some way. So in a session of core transformations, a person may desire to be free of a particular state or to gain a particular state or feeling. And it's almost meditative, almost hypnotic. The therapist will talk the client through the situation and invite them to express sensations and feelings they may be having and come up with words that may describe what's going on, and then drilling down gently in a conversational way. What we're aiming to get to with each situation is a core state. Now, basically what can happen is part way along we find out there's another part, because it is dealing with parts of a person where the parts aren't all integrated. So we could end up with this whole host of different parts that are all needing different things, and we need to get all of those to a decent state. And then, simply put, we need to then grow them all up to where they need to integrate and take them forwards in a way that is integrated, whole and comfortable for the person to continue in a more positive way in their life. So this is true whether it's releasing an unwanted state or gaining a wanted state. So who wouldn't want to feel peace, love, oneness, okayness, beingness? The peace is what we all seek. That's just a very brief introduction to some of what Core Transformations is about. I learnt it with my lovely teacher Melody Cheel at GWhiz and continue to study. If you're interested in finding out more about it or having a session, please don't hesitate to get in touch. Thank you so much.